Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This time I have a mic and I'm ready to give you an improved version of the May garden tour. So check it out. I shared a few things in my last video, but I'll just go over the same major points. Poinsettia, not for eating, just to enjoy. Some collards that look damaged. I might investigate that later. Onion flower. This is a red rock onion, and this is the only one to go to seed. It's very beautiful. Some rosemary here. I took pieces of this rosemary earlier today and I just scattered it in different parts of the garden. See some in here, more back there. I just want the aroma of rosemary all throughout the garden so that it can repel certain insects. What else? We have my chocolate bell peppers, which there's several on this plant. However, they're not too big at all, and they've been this size for quite some time. So what I'll do is harvest all of these and then see what happens to the plant. What's likely to happen is if I'm removing a few of these peppers, the plant will trigger new growth. And even if I just get rid of a few of them, the plant will boost the growth in the ones that are remaining. Similar to that, I have a tomato plant behind there. A few tomato plants actually. Let me show you those. All right, so here we go. And we got some tomatoes growing. So yeah, similar to the peppers, these have been growing for some time, and I'm going to harvest them while they're still green so that the plant can continue developing tinier ones like this guy. So yeah, they're green. I'll still harvest them and then they'll ripen on the vine. As they ripen on the vine, they'll just stay in the house, and it may take about a week or two to get to its full ripeness. All right, behind me is the second bed. Let me zoom out a little bit to show you. This looks like a little mess, but let me explain what's happening. We got poinsettia, again, just for a pop of color. There are some onions in this area. And then this tomato plant, this is a volunteer plant, likely from last year. And they began growing this season. So I really haven't been taking much care of this. It's kind of just growing wild. So what I'll do is stake it so that it can have some structure. Yeah. The other half of this bed are the remainder of my onions. I have mostly red rock onions at this point. A couple videos ago, what did I do? Oh, I harvested most of my Texas grano. There's a couple more remaining. Those are the white ones. And I don't think I harvested any of the red rockets, so I'm going to be doing that soon. Some of them are already ready to come out. I can tell because the necks are bent. When the necks are bent, that means they're ready to harvest. They are a nice size too, wouldn't you say? Especially this guy. Look at this guy. That's pretty big. One huge Texas grano has been here for a long time, growing very large. I'm afraid to even look at it, but let's check it out. Ooh. Whoa. Let's give us some room. Give us some extra room to bulb out. This guy is taking his precious time and I don't want to rush it. So yeah, I just gave it some more room so it can expand. This guy gets some more room too. All right. That is bed number 2. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have a zucchini plant growing right here next to my poinsettia and the rest of these onions. Almost forgot you. No, I have two zucchini plants. Yeah, I need to get this under control. There might be a third under there that I'm not aware of. Anyway, continuing to my third bed. Third bed also has volunteer cherry and or grape tomato plants growing. Also has onions. These are also red rock, but they are probably a little younger than the ones behind me. What I need to do here is the same thing as I did to that bigger one. I need to, and I am right now, I'm forking around it to give it some room to expand. Once the bulbing phase starts, that's when you want to do this. Ah, what's that? No, false alarm. False alarm. Never mind. Forget that happened. Yeah, so once they start to bulb, you want to fork around here so that there is room for it to expand. I think I said that like 3 times. I'll stop mentioning it. All right, this bed also has 5 zucchini plants. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 next to each other. I realize now that these might be too close together. That's okay. What else is over here? Some more rosemary that I cut and added to this bed. I do just I I kind of just compost in place, really. Um, for example, these are collard leaves from this collard plant, and when I see them dying, just near death, I just pull them down. You know, like why make the plant put its energy into dying leaves? You know, relieve it of that pressure, and it looks better. Yeah, speaking of this collar plant, it's going to seed. I mentioned that in my last video, but I will explain it here too. So it transforms from looking like this to looking like this. This right here, all of this. This is a collard plant that went to seed. It's been transitioning for about a month now, maybe a little longer. The leaves get shorter and a little bit more bitter. I believe they're still edible, but I'm not eating them. I haven't been eating from them. I've just been saving this plant here for the pollinators and for the seeds. The flower loses its petals, and then you're left with this piece here. So that is the ovary, and the ovary becomes the pod. It grows a little longer and becomes the pod, and then the pod develops with seeds. So this looks like a string bean, doesn't it? String bean? Green beans? Green string beans? Wait, is that what green beans are? Green and whatever. All right, continuing. This is a parsley plant that also has gone to seed. So these are its flowers. These are very beautiful to me. And we have some visitors making a home here. And yeah, this has gone to seed maybe 2 months ago is when it began. And it was way more to this than you're seeing. About a week or so ago, I chopped off a major section of this plant. It was just way too big, and it's still pretty big. Yeah, that's this bed. I'll continue to the fourth. So this bed has a little bit of everything. I need to name this bed. It has so much character, and it does so much for the garden. It doesn't even need me, to be honest. It's very self-sustaining. Let me show you why. We have Mint that has been a frequent visitor to this bed. Mint, like my friend Sweet Potato over here, will continue to come back as long as the conditions are fit for it. And right now, conditions are amazing. As long as there's like a tiny, even a microscopic remnant of the mint in this bed, it will always come back. even if I dig it all up, as much as I attempt to dig it up, it will come back. And I've resigned to that fact. It's okay. It smells great. I can make mojitos, and the smell of it keeps some pests out of the garden. What else? Yeah, this bramble took over this bed. Some have asked, is this weed? No, it is not weed, but it grows like a weed and it's taken over like a weed. I have stopped fighting it. Did I even mention what it is? It's a wild blackberry. It is a wild blackberry. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not fighting it for real. I'll just let it do its thing. What else? We've got these collards that are the only ones that haven't gone to seed yet. Actually, no, there's one more. 3 beds back. Yeah, I don't know what to expect really. There's some damage on the leaves. I could get rid of those dead or dying leaves. But I don't really interact with this bed a lot, to be honest. Like, I'm not harvesting from here as much as I should. What I will do though is before this weekend is over, I'm going to harvest everything from these collards and freeze them. There's another kale. Well, there is a kale right there too, and I'll do the same thing to that. Yeah, I also have a tiny zucchini plant here, another here, one that's a little bit larger in size right here, and then one tucked way back in the corner right there. It's debatable how successful the zucchini will get. I think in this environment where there's just a ton of stuff growing in its midst, it might be a challenge for it to absorb all the nutrients from the soil. But yeah, you never know. A couple years ago, there was a bed like this. Actually, this was the bed. This was the exact bed. Cucumbers were going crazy in the midst of growing like tomatoes and greens and other stuff. So you never know. All right, let me wrap up. So yeah, we looked at all 4 beds. There's a wasp, and that is my invitation to leave. Right? It is. Yeah. Let me just walk a little faster. You guys, there's so much wildlife that I just need to get used to. I'm loving the lizards, by the way. Loving the lizards, loving all of my pollinators, even the ones that sting, and just enjoying the garden. It's very peaceful. It's very natural for all these things to be happening together. And I'm just in love with the process. Okay, that's the improved video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can hear me. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.